Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are with the Wired Direct today. Going to be showing hopefully some new cool games and release dates for upcoming games. It's about to start. The Wired Direct. Gori, come on, Gori. I played a little bit of Gori at the last WASD, however you pronounce it, like a year ago. Lots of fun, man. Lots and lots of fun. Looking forward to playing the full game when it comes out.
Oh, we're live. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Wired Direct
Oh,
2024
Jake.
Showcase. It's a yearly presentation where Wired and their development partners lift the lid on just some of the stuff they've been working on over the last year or so. We've got loads of gameplay reveals, world premieres, in-depth interviews with some of the developers, and just loads more. But one thing's for sure, it's chock full of stuff, and we want to just get straight into it. So we better get a move on.
This is Gori Cuddly Carnage.
Gori's first. Gori's first.
In the beginning, there were cats. Innocent little animals, loved by all.
Meow. This is the meow going. Dun dun.
On August 29th, 2024. Good versus bad
Let's go, man. This game is just insanity.
versus unicorn. So don't be a pussy, cat.
Pause. Pause. Wired, I'm gonna need that skateboard. You guys need to sell that skateboard so I can buy it.
Explore levels, save the world, and look cute while you do it.
Do it. When you coming out? August 29th. Okay, let's go. Put it in your calendars. Write it down. Put it in a sticky note. Put it in your iPad or
Holy
your
fuck.
Android.
I'm going to be singing that song in my sleep now.
August.
Unknown fact: we tried to get Blink 182 to record a version of their hit song "Unfurline This," but no dice. Anyway, Gori Cuddly Carnage is going to launch on August 29th on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and my favorite Nintendo Switch. And you can pre-order right now on Xbox, PlayStation, and even smash your paws.
I'll probably end up playing on PlayStation.
Steam.
I know what you're thinking, and it's what kind of maniac would envision this type of game? Well, hey, good news, viewers, because we've got Angry Demon Studios joining us right now to give us a little look into their frankly twisted minds. Well, the Angry Demon Studio maniacs responsible for that trailer that we just saw. Thanks for joining us all the way from Sweden, although with the internet, doesn't really matter where you are in the world these days, does it, to be honest? Let's imagine that somebody has just stumbled into this trailer and they've got no idea what the hell they... I mean, I know the game and I was still like, oh my god. What kind of gameplay experience is a game like Gori offering to the folks at home?
Well, that is a very big question because it offers a lot of different types of just gameplay or just things overall. I think we have like three major pillars to the game, which is combat. That is something we spend a lot of time on getting, really good. And then there are the cutscenes, and introductions and just making it feel cinematic and cool. And the third one, I think I've forgotten because I am the lead designer.
I know.
Oh, racing. Yeah, racing is one. Thank you. But yeah, so basically, there is racing, but the two things that are the main things of the game is basically like very smooth combat.
I wonder if there'll be
Just
like time
traverse
trials
hoverboard.
if there's racing.
Yeah, short version.
I don't recall there being anything mentioning any online
And that's
component
the
like a
thing that's supposed
multiplayer.
to feel
But
good,
time
and
trials
that's what
I
the
think
game
would be pretty
offers.
cool.
Thank you, William. lead audio.
Yeah, I got it.
It's a game where it's super easy and fun to have fun and play the game. And if you want to, you can get really good at it, but at the same time, you don't have to be super experienced with hack and slash or skating games for playing our game. It's a it's a very action-driven, fun, easy to play, cool game in which it's just adorable things happening.
It's nuts, basically.
Caroline actually hit something really important there. We did like
If you love
playthroughs,
chaos, I think you'll love
with,
Gori.
A charity like 2 years ago, and one of the people that played it had never played a hack and slash, and they just loved it. And they said like it's baby's first hack and slash because it was so easy to actually play it. You didn't actually have to know
Baby's
it, but you
first
still had a lot
hack
of
and
fun with it.
slash.
But like the main thing that we've always been striving for is just fun.
Yeah.
Baby's
so
first
there's,
hack and slash.
like, yeah, sure, you know, the game takes skill and all of that, but the main factor that we always ask ourselves, like, is it fun? And if it's not fun, we'll just not have it in the game.
And
That like the players amount of fun is the most important thing to us.
And we had experienced hack and slash players playing this game too, and they've had fun too.
Yeah.
And that's most
I
important
feel like
for us.
the idea of it being fun is very obvious from the surface, with the bombast of it being unicorns and a cat as a main character. That's a very visually striking concept and a world. So can you explain a little bit behind the inspiration of why a cat, why a unicorn, why a hoverboard? Like what made you decide on these factors?
So basically, we've been doing this scary, serious game for years, and we really needed an outlet to do something fun, to do something that we felt like this is a crazy idea. Let's put it in there. And so
I think that's quite fair. I think a lot of the time with developers, when they work on one kind of thing,
who doesn't love cats?
Everybody loves cats.
or
And,
like one particular genre, sometimes
we
you'd want to
came
just
up
branch
with the
out and just
idea,
do
like,
something
the
completely
ideal,
different.
the ultimate pet.
And
what would that be?
For them,
that you
Gori
can't get?
is
And
exactly
that would
that.
be a unicorn, of course. Who doesn't want a unicorn as a pet? The perfect pet.
And then all of a sudden we had a cat also on a hoverboard, because that was a really cool mechanic we had, and we tested it, and now we have unicorn enemies. So it kind of just spiraled out of control there for a bit.
So we had fun with the idea, and a new idea was born from that idea, and then it just...
I think my favorite memory is when we kind of like, we were brainstorming how to spawn the enemies. In Devil May Cry, they are demons, so they just they kind of climb out of darkness from the ground. It's like they
climb out like
down.
shadow.
That's really
It's
cool.
really cool.
It's like, what do we do? And one of us had the idea that, what if we do like gacha balls, you know, from machines where you put like a coin in
corner.
it, and then you roll it and then it comes out. It's like, no, that's too crazy. And it's like, wait, I was still in the Absolove mode, and I was like, yeah, why the fuck not? Let's do that.
Yeah,
So
they're
we just
toys.
had this teleporter eggs, which is basically teleporting high-tech gacha.
Yeah.
So the answer in short really is Gori is just a game made with no restraint whatsoever, because the shackles of serious Norse mythology infused horror sometimes can get a bit much to bear, right?
Hell yeah.
That summarizes it very
Pretty
well.
well summarized.
Yeah.
I suppose the main question a lot of people would be asking when they see a game like this is, what's the plot? What would players be doing to sort of, I guess, guide them through their unicorn slaughtered, bloodbath?
Let's see here. What have we given away? Because I don't want to spoil anything today. But basically, the world as we know have ended due to toys. We all knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Basically, there's a company called Cool Toys, and they made this Ultra Pet, which is the ultimate pet toy. It's alive, but it doesn't do the normal organic stuff like peeing and pooing and dying and those annoying things that you have to clean up after. So they made this it's a replicant. So the inspiration was Blade Runner with the replicants. They're like fake people. So these are like fake pets. They started out doing pets that were similar to real pets, but they didn't sell very well. So they started doing these and these more like fantasy film, like the unicorn, and that was the big break. And it spread all over the world. And then bam, something happened that made them mutate and rebel against their human masters. And this is basically where the universe takes off. We have these mutated
And that's how
toys
the
that-
humans died.
and in the apocalypse, and we have our hero and his friends, or our three heroes. It's Gori, the cat, Frank, the hoverboard, and then Chip, the kind of
Oh yeah, the
little bit
hoverboard
sad,
talks.
He's
The
an
hoverboard
AI
actually
and,
talks.
and became sentient, and because of that, sentience comes with sadness, as most of us knows, in one form or another. So that's kind of his thing. While Frank is maybe not as sentient because he's just happy about everything. He's one of them characters, and we get to follow their path through this kind of hilariously apocalyptic world, while also trying to save their creator, Professor Y, which they assumed were dead, but she's not.
Oh. Hey, that's a nice little cliffhanger to end it on, to be completely honest. Angry Demon Studios, thank you very much for that comprehensive, although still frankly quite bizarre look into Gori, which we now know is just months away. Before we let you go, is there anywhere you'd like to send the people where they can find you, keep up to date with all things Angry
Gori's
Demon
going to be a lot
Studio?
of fun, man.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
if you
Go
just
to
want
gory.wtf is the website.
Gori.wtf.
What the fuck? You'll get all the info right there.
And you can find us on Discord, and when the game is released, please come join us.
And all links are, just as William said, available on gory.wtf. That's Gori, what the fuck, for all of you fans out there.
Hey, thank you very much, guys.
I think this is gonna be jokes. A cat, a hoverboard that speaks to you. Jeez, the Cuddly Carnage.
Well, I don't know about you, Jake, but that was flipping awesome. Thank you, Angry Demon Gang. If you're feeling a bit of a curious cat and you can withstand the allergies, you can pre-order and wishlist on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox right now. Check out the links below, and you can also head to gory.wtf, what the fur, for all the details on everything that we've announced today.
All right. Well, listen, I think it's about that time where we introduce who we are, why we're here, and a little bit about Wired. We've started with a bit of a cold open. To be completely honest, there's a lot of... we've hit our sort of quota for cat jokes, by the way, so don't worry about that. That was... I told you it was chock full of content, to be honest. In case you didn't know already, my name's Chik Kulkowski, and this fine fellow here is Aaron. We've been running the Wired Unplugged podcast over the last few years and working closely with Wired. They've been really, really good to us. And do you know what? Like, in case you don't know who Wired are and the Wired Direct, what it's all about, Wired are like this truly independent publisher, which is quite a rare thing.
He's on a
days, to be
timer.
completely honest.
Jake,
You
you
might know
better
him from some of their stuff like Martha is
you better
Dead,
get that
Close to the
speech
Sun,
moving.
and the Falconeer Chronicles Bulwark. You might be a Bullock head. Depends. It's a bit of a civil war in how you pronounce that. There's Deliver Us the Moon and Shaq Fu, which maybe that isn't in the
I played
notes.
the
That's a bit of an
Falconeer. It's
ad-lib
pretty
there,
good.
to be honest.
No, listen,
Falconer.
I'll be honest. We met Shaq. We spent a day with Shaq, and what a flipping beast. What a specimen of a human
Yeah.
Shaq is.
I watched him on
It's
Hot
ridiculous.
Ones smash those wings, and I was like, oof, man.
Yeah, like he tapped me, and I felt like I'd been hit by a train. That's all I'm gonna say. And then he brought me back to life because he killed me. I'm not even joking. There's video evidence out there. Go check out Wired on YouTube. It exists.
But actually, right now, let's stay right here because we've got something. We got a really, really move. We got another trailer right now, and this is a brand new first look at something special. Let's
Ooh,
run it.
let's go. Okay. World exclusive. Controls the past, controls the future. Who controls the present, controls the past. George Orwell.
Nightcrawlers. That's what the people in the city call us. The Thought Bureau describes my duty as Rome. Compared to the number of midnight operations, we spend most of our time in other people's brains. Listening to what you hear and watching what you see. April 30th, 1976. It's the 4th year since I joined Leviathan's Thought Bureau. It's taken me 8 whole years to finally discover who I am.
Oh, this is gonna be like really trippy, isn't it? Oh, I don't know why I was getting Death Stranding vibes. Like Death Stranding vibes.
What happened to me?
Oh, his whole head got cut.
What am I?
Karma, the Dark World. Yo, intrigued. Intrigued to the ceiling. And I've gone past it into the clouds.
Wow.
Karma.
Okay. That looks absolutely incredible.
Terrifying.
I'm going to have to get my board out. I'm going to have little ropes going between pictures to try and decipher what's going on. But you're not going to have to wait too much longer to learn more about Karma, the Dark World, as over the next coming months, we're going to have new reveals and information coming about the game. But from today, Jake, you can wishlist on PC and PS5 right now. Also, if you want a tiny bit more information, you can go to karmadarkworld.com to sign up for more updates as we go on this mysterious journey together. Speaking of the game, if you're keen to know more, we have a nice video interview from Pollard Studio all the way from China.
Thank you for watching our trailer. I'm Lu Chen. I'm the executive producer.
I'm Yong He. I'm a creative director.
What happened to me?
Yeah,
What do-
Karma, the Dark
What happened
World
to
is
you,
a
dude?
psychological horror game with first-person narrative. We created a society under control of a company called Leviathan. The player is setting as an agent from this company. The daily work is using a special helmet to dive into people's brain to search their deep memories, to collect the secret they want to hide, and also to find out what is the truth, what is going on. So there are gonna be two lines. One is reality, and the other one is like more
I'll tell you what,
magical,
visually,
like
it looks
dreams.
really
It's very
good.
special. Polar Studio is based in Shanghai, China. We have 20 developers right now, and we have 5 to 15 years experience. We are focusing on developing high quality games with awesome art style and gripping narrative. Our passion is trying to provide players an audience with a unique experience which they never seen this in their life. We are not developing a game to scare the people. I would say although Karma is a horror game, but we focus more on the psychological aspect because we realize that sometimes the tense atmosphere will grab more attention. So it will also make them
So more
better into the game
psychological, like
experience.
the evil
The
within,
story
in that case.
seems sadness, I would say, on the surface, but we don't want to limit the players too much because we know everyone has their opinions and feelings. We want people to share their and emotions to us.
Just
所以在游戏一开始的
when
时候，
things
我
are
们
stuck
其
in
实
the
是
arm,
希望可以
like
去建立一
oh,
个
just I can't do it.
宇宙世界观，然后我们通过不同的作品来去传达不同的情感。所以卡玛的话是这个的第一部作品。
Oh, so there's going to be another game.
讲述的是寻找自我跟拯救他人。
So Karma's first.
那这款游戏的话，它其实探索了关于比如说像这种惨痛的爱情，或者是悲剧式的家庭，当然还有我们都知道这个扭曲的这个社会道德观，所以我们希望可以只身跟玩家在一起去一同体验整个毛骨悚然的这个游戏的旅程。那同时的话，我们也希望说玩家可以时刻沉浸在
Want your drugs?
黑暗
Here you go.
或者说是非常迷幻的这个整个乌托邦的这个世界当中。另外的话，其实我们 所有人都特别希望说，当玩家完成了这个游戏，结束了这个游戏之后，他可以去思考说他如何去珍惜当下，他如何去珍惜。
I'm gonna think about loving the people around me.
这些事情。
Raw. This game's gonna change my life.
其实我们在做这款项目的时候，我们有过很多的灵感的参考，比如说来自于电视剧有双分，然后还有我们的
Twin
三个宇
Peaks
宙，
Bioshock
书籍的话有我们喜欢的1984，然后当然还有游戏
Alright
的话是来自于生化奇兵。那我们团队的话，经常会一起大家呢去探索一些很有趣的话题性，比如说像是我们会聊，如果人们失去了隐私，如果一个 AI 控制了整个世界，如果我们去访问别人的记忆，或者
AI controlling everything. We're kind of getting there right now, to be fair.
如果甚至有一款药物，它可以去控制人们的情绪，又会变成什么样子？所有这些独特的、有趣的，但也因为它们有因果的这种紧密的连接，所有的这些呢，就是构建我们的这个灵感的来源。
If you enjoy our games, please put us in your wish list
and website. And
thank you for watching our trailer.
This is really bloody cool looking. I'm down for psychological horror. Like, I loved The Evil Within because it would trip the hell out of you, and it feels like Karma the Dark World is going the same way. So sign me up.
Studios for that look at Karma the Dark World. Now, back in 2019, all the way back in 2019, Wired partnered with the best Dutch export since the Street Waffle, Kayak and Interactive, to bring Deliver Us the Moon to the masses. And wow, it went down a storm. So much so that Kayak pushed it to new heights and new levels, took it to what was then next gen. But one thing was always missing until now. They said it couldn't be done, kind of like going to the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, Deliver Us the Moon is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Don't believe us? See for yourself.
Oh.
Space!
The next frontier. Sometimes when devs would say, yeah, we're going to bring our game to the Switch, it just makes you think that way. Is it even possible? But look, here it is. Deliver Us the Moon on the Switch. From the looks of it, obviously based on this video, it's running pretty much perfectly. Obviously it's been pared back graphically, but it's running well to go along with it. Damn, Deliver Us the Moon on the Switch. I actually did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
Hey guys, Koen and Paul from Kaoken here, and we have something awesome to reveal. We've been listening to the community and a lot of people have been requesting this. We are gonna be on Nintendo Switch with Deliver Us the Moon. It's actually a very big surprise because the team actually convinced both of us that we were able to do this, and yeah, it's now there. Now Nintendo players can take their whole travels to the moon and enjoy it just like everyone else did. For me, it's a miracle that it's on there. It's crazy to think that we now have a game on Nintendo. We enjoyed making this as well, again, because
I think it's interesting because
with all the passion we always have.
Those with the Switch will obviously take it like that.
Yeah.
Those with the Steam Deck will probably take the other version along with them.
Thank you, Ken.
But yeah, that's dope, man.
To have you along. If you want to stay up to date with Deliver Us the Moon coming to Switch, you can follow the social channels to stay up to date. Now, cast your mind back to 2022. We made a small little teasing announcement for a hotel management simulator game called Hotel Architect. And since then, we've kept the door shut. Well, now the time has come to check in.
Hotel's been closed the entire time. Now it's open for business. Remind me of the Mies from the Nintendo Wii. I'm emotional. Oh, sweet.
Well, that looks absolutely amazing. We are now joined by the mighty and wonderful Axel from Pathos Interactive. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
For the people who are checking in to Hotel Architect for the first time, how would you describe the game?
Yes,
The
so
puns.
Hotel Architect is
The
a
puns.
simulation tycoon game in which you build up hotels in various exciting locations all over the world. And I would say the game is all about letting your creativity loose as a godlike hotel entrepreneur. You can design your hotels the way you want, experiment with staff and guests in different ways to make them happy or miserable if that's what you want. So basically, it's a very sandboxy approach. And when it comes to visuals, as seen in the video, it's a top-down 3D game, very cozy, colorful art style, and a quirky, humoristic feel.
So, when you're playing, when you're testing the game out as you're making it, are you prone to making people happy or going the opposite end of the spectrum and causing absolute misery? What sort of person are you?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like it when it's kind of chaotic and making people, at least at some point, miserable, just to see how they react.
Good man.
But
Chaos.
yeah, I mean,
Some
that
pure
probably
chaos.
comes from when I was a kid and played Sims. I mean, the funniest thing about Sims was to make the family miserable.
Yeah. Remove the
at
ladders
least
from
when
the
I
swimming
played.
pool.
Exactly, that's a classic one. Yeah.
Ah, the joy, the joy. What else did you used to play when you were growing up that kind of inspired the direction of Hotel Architect, I guess?
I played a lot of like city builders and management games, strategy overall.
Strategy
but,
as well, I'm assuming, yeah.
I guess my favorite game of all time would be Caesar 3. That's totally awesome game. And actually, there are quite a lot of similarities with the Hotel Architect, like when it comes to economics and area planning and logistical chains and stuff like that. So even if it's more like small scale and modern business game, Hotel Architect, it's still got some similarities with the classic like city builders management games.
Amazing. So you've mentioned some of the similarities, but what are some of the things that set this game apart from other games within the genre?
Yes, I would say it's a mix of many different elements that creates our unique simulation and gameplay. But one thing we have in Hotel Architect, which is very rare in tycoon games, is the building system where all tiles and walls and items you place are built up manually by characters in the game. In other tycoon games, especially 3D ones, everything tend to just pop up instantly when you dragged out or placed it in a world.
Yeah.
But when we designed
The
this
actual
game,
characters are
we
putting
thought
the
it
place
would
together.
add
That's
an
kind of
extra
cool.
layer of depth to have all construction stuff simulated as well, as these are things that also may affect your hotel guests. I mean, just imagine if you get your wall smashed in while you lie in bed at night, or if someone comes and installs a new shower while you're sitting on the toilet. You probably
I'm
won't
trying to
leave
take a
very
nap
positive
and
review
someone
when
just breaks through my
you
wall.
are checking out from
I'll
that
be like,
hotel.
yep, I need to
So we
fix something
really
in this
wanted
room.
to create
Just like,
an
get out of my
awesome
room, bro.
simulation where characters react to basically everything that happens in their surroundings. Yeah, and this of course also makes it even more interesting to play around in our sandbox mode, where you can create your own crazy scenarios and see how everything plays out.
So speaking of the sandbox mode, what are some of the features of the game that people can play around with in that sandbox mode? What gets you like personally excited?
Yeah, so I mean, I like to build like crazy. You can actually zone different types of areas within one room. So if you want to, you can like place a toilet in the middle of the reception, and then you have like the waste room just adjacent to it, and
Why
maybe a
would you?
dance floor as well. That's obviously not the
It's not
perfect
ideal.
way
It's
to do it.
chaos.
It's chaos,
The man's gonna
that's,
put a toilet in the
that's
middle of the reception.
how I like to play it, because this game should also be like fun to fail. You do have like objectives, and you need to complete some
I wonder if I
scenarios
could
or
place
different
the toilet
locations
like in the middle of the street.
around the world. But when you've done so, you have like unlocked the
Or could I
servers
replace
mode for that
every
location, and
chair
you can play around
in the
wherever you
hotel with a
want.
toilet?
But
Toilet
of
seat.
course, as a hotel manager, you're also in charge of all finances. You get to choose every staff member in your hotel, and they all differ in experience and attributes. You get to create your restaurant menu, and
Oh.
overall, you have to like make sure your hotels offer such services and activities that your targeted guest group wants.
You mentioned that you can create your own menu, and obviously you can build locations all around the world. Does local cuisine feature?
Yeah, we actually plan to have like one unlockable meal or dish per location. So yeah, that's for sure in the game.
Amazing, amazing. I love me some good grub. It's the best thing about traveling. Let's be honest. You go to a hotel, there's something that you've never seen
Yeah.
before on a menu. Like, for example, go to Amsterdam. It's like, yes, I will have the bitterballen. But I digress. So, for those who have never experienced a Pathos interactive joint before, what can you tell us about the studio and the team that are working on this?
Yeah, so Pathos Interactive, we are a Swedish game development studio founded by me and two brothers, Christopher and Alexander Anderson, about 9 years ago now.
Wow.
We are now 5 developers in the team, and Pathos is focusing on strategy games, but in a quite broad sense.
9 years
Our
is a long
previous
time.
game was a competitive real-time strategy game called Bannerman, and that was very much a passion project since everyone in the team grew up with classics like StarCraft, Age of Empires, and City Builders, and we wanted to contribute with a fresh game in that genre. But our current project, Hotel Architect, definitely derives from passion as well. As I mentioned, I'm a fan of simulation.
I'm so
games
going
and
to
city
replace all the
builders.
chairs with toilets.
So,
If I could do it,
so yeah,
I'm going to do it.
it's like we are creating the games we love and want to play ourselves.
For a moment there, I thought you was going to say, I myself am a hotelier, and I own much land and many establishments. But
unfortunately not.
We all wish. One final question before we get to the end of this. What was the moment that made the 5 of you go, yes, Hotel Architects is what we're making? Like, did you all go on like many hotel trips together? Did you all, hack into the mainframe of like the Marriott and look at all their finances and stuff like that? What was the
That would be
what was the
pretty funny
exciting twig
if the
that
team
got
just
you
went to a
over
whole
there?
bunch of different hotels around the world.
Yes.
Just
For
like,
legal
yep.
reasons,
If you did,
that
don't admit
happen.
to that.
Sure. No, but actually it was Christopher, as I mentioned. He was on a trip with Jonathan, another developer, and when they were at the hotel, they realized, okay, there are so many things that can like go wrong in a hotel, and there are so many like logistical chains and so many parameters that have to just
Did any of them get their
to
walls
get a hotel
smashed
running.
in while they're trying to sleep?
I'm not really sure about the walls smashed in, but they experienced a lot of like unpleasant stuff.
If I get onto this, I would really love to try that. Just
but anyway,
like
I would say that when they came
one of the
home,
guests
they
are sleeping
had
and I
this
just
idea, and we
order
looked around a
one of
bit,
the workers to go
obviously,
do something in their room, and
see
I
what
just smash the
games,
wall in.
already exist. I mean, because there are many games, great games out there already. But we thought it was a good fit, also for our team with our background, and so we just went all in.
Amazing. So finally, what can players expect from Hotel Architects moving forward? What have they got to look forward to?
So well, they can expect a vibrant and amusing, sometimes chaotic simulation game, but with mechanics that allow you to experiment and play around with different strategies. You will actually start off in Gothenburg, my hometown in Sweden, with the objective to build a hotel suitable for backpackers and sporties. And yeah, that's basically how the game is designed. You unlock a new location with some kind of challenge or scenario, and then when you completed that scenario, you unlock a new location and also the sandbox mode for the location you just played. But also, finally, you can expect Hotel Architect to be released later this year as early access, and we are so excited at this point. We're now designing the levels that will be part of the release version, and we are implementing the final major features. And it's so nice to see all things come together so well. And we can't wait to share this with all gamers out
We
there.
can't wait either. Thanks for joining us. Let's crack on.
Awesome.
So that was Hotel Architect, and we can't wait to share more with you as the year goes on. There's already an early access roadmap that you can check out. Remember, you can wishlist the game on PC. And if you're watching this live, then check out the chat and you can join a Discord and stay up to date with all things Hotel Architect.
Now, usually in these things, you come to the adverts where people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for 10 seconds of fame. However, we're doing things a tiny bit differently this time, Jake. As people may well know, we are big supporters of Safe in Our World, a video game mental health charity, which brings comfort to people who not only play our games, but also make our games as well. So we're going to hand off to our wonderful friends at Safe in Our World to tell you a bit about what they're up to.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Safe in Our World is the global mental health charity for the video games industry and its gamers. The main goal of the charity is to create and foster worldwide mental health awareness within the video games industry and beyond, to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, make it a natural topic of conversation, and empower people to reach out for help if they need it. The charity was launched on the 10th of October 2019 on World Mental Health Day, and has since then grown at a fast rate. As part of the launch, a poignant game called Fractured Minds was released across all platforms globally.
I remember this.
To support the charity. The game was made by an aspiring developer, Emily Mitchell, who entered a game development competition and subsequently won BAFTA's Young Game Designer Award in 2017.
I think I was at the preview event
The
for
game was
that.
made by herself and focused on her personal journey through different forms of mental health, from anxiety to depression to claustrophobia. Fractured Minds created these feelings in every scene. If you haven't played it already, I really urge you to. It is a wonderful but emotional journey. Ever since inception, it has always been a goal of the charity to organise an event where aspiring game developers have the opportunity to create games around the topic of mental health. So, I'm excited to say that today we are announcing the launch of the first ever Safe in Our World Mental Health Game Dev Champions event. As we now know, the charity was launched on the eve of a pandemic, which I actually think was pretty good timing. There were many dark days for many of us during that time, and I don't think we'll ever truly know the impact of that time. But if there is one legacy that COVID has left, it's that perhaps people are now talking about their mental health more. So that's the theme of the competition. We want to continue this vital conversation and encourage people to express what they went through and how they felt by making a game that means something to them, like Fractured Minds meant to Emily Mitchell. Registration is open from today until the end of May, and you can find all the details on our website of how to get involved. So just visit www.safeinourworld.org, and the official start date will be the 1st of June. There will be categories for both solo devs and small teams, and a host of awards and wonderful prizes, including a showcase of all the winning games. So please take part and please share your story. Safe in Our World has already helped hundreds of thousands of people around the world, and with your support we can help many more. Please help us spread the word and make stigma around mental health a thing of the past. So I just want to say a massive thank you to all the partners that has made this event possible, and good luck to everybody.
So thank
Awesome.
you to Safe in Our World. And great news
Awesome.
for you
It's
fans
really
of
good.
iridescent blobs out there. Lumos, the Master Moat Chronicles, back in 2022, launched with its meditative mix of puzzly platforming, and it came out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, the Switch, the PC. But there's a whole new slew of consoles out there, and so to make sure that you can enjoy that relaxing mix of Lava Lamp-esque gameplay on every high-definition console there is, well, there's going to be a free upgrade later this year. On top of that, though, there is a fully playable co-op mode being added as well. So keep an eye out for more information all about that soon.
Sweet. Lumot is back, and this time they have a friend. Lumot and Luboat. Getting that visual boost. The journey. Yeah. Do, 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 do.
Now, Jake, I don't know if you remember the last time we did a Wide Direct, we were all in lockdown. Everyone was working from home. We just transitioned to trying to find this new way to communicate across borders because we weren't sharing an office anymore. And none of that came into a fascinating spark of insight than Leo being trapped in Italy. Now, he had a very interesting experience while he was over there doing some work on his family's land, shall we say. And it's kind of sparked something, a pretty juicy idea.
World exclusive. Ah, this is Just Add Water's new game. Like a construction simulator. Dig VR. Dig VR.
All right, that was your very first look at Dig VR. And to learn a little bit more about the game, we're joined by Ben from Just Add Water and Leo Zulo, the MD from Wired, who got a bit of a bit like Thanos. He got a bit of an introduction before the trailer, and we teased the story of how Dig VR came to be. Actually, so I think it might be a great idea to hear directly. So Ben, Leo, welcome. We just saw Dig VR, and we heard that it was something to do with a wall, an Italian estate, and lockdown. So Leo, would you like to talk about how this became such an origin story?
Yeah. Happy to. So basically, February 2020, lockdown hadn't happened yet, but COVID was just rearing its ugly head. We'd just been to PAX.
Man,
in February.
COVID feels like
obviously the last PAX, but it was probably the best PAX ever.
so long
came
ago
back from PAX,
now.
Was feeling a little bit ropey. Had to
And
go
how
to
just how
Italy to
full on
look
it was
after
and
my dad,
everything.
'cause I used to go every sort of 2-3 weeks just to keep an eye on him. Got to Italy a couple of days after PAX, came down with a cold, and it was a normal, innocent cold, and I'm like coughing and spluttering, but it's a cold, and all my relatives over there are thinking, "You're going to kill us, you're going to kill us," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. It's just a bloody cold." Anyway, a couple of days later, the cold went away, and it wasn't COVID. And I phoned up the office and said, "Right, I'm coming back to the UK," and they said, "No one wants you back." So I'm like, "What do you mean no one wants me back? I'm the fucking MD." And they're like, "No, if everyone comes back, if you come back, they're all going to mutiny." So I was sitting in a countryside farmhouse, and my window to my left was overlooking the Tuscan hills. And I'm looking at my screen at the people in the office.
How can you be like,
fuck this,
I'm
staying
coming
here.
back? Like, yeah, we don't want
I
you here.
stayed in Italy for lockdown. And after a couple of weeks, I got a bit bored, and I kept on looking outside in the garden or in the kind of the sort of the fieldy bit, and there was this long wall about 50 meters long, and it was looking a bit sorry for itself. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to borrow my cousin's digger, not cousin's digger, my cousin's tractor, go up to it and take it down. I mean, what could go wrong? So in a tractor, starting to smash the wall, and obviously it was the wrong tool for the job. So I hired a digger, and obviously, you know, health and safety aside, they dropped off the digger and said, can you use a digger? Yeah, of course I can. You know what I mean? And they gave us the keys. So I'm in a digger with the two controllers, and I'm like, you know, up, down, forward, jumping. Fucking hell, this is not working. And I'm smashing this fucking wall. And you know, after quite a few failed attempts, I finally got into the groove of using the two controllers, and then every now and again lost the controls because it's one of those kind of learning things. And I had this kind of eureka moment. I thought, you know what, this is almost exactly like you were in a game and you were boarded in and you're learning the controls. And then I thought about it, and I thought the two controls are almost identical to VR. And imagine what this would be like in VR. So I'm like,
That's interesting.
The idea sort of stuck. So I came back to the UK after many months, when COVID was almost gone, and mentioned it to my teammates, and they said, yeah, good idea. And then I had a moment when I had a lunch with Joel Benton, wonderful man who is part of Just Add Water, and I was telling him my story, and he goes, you know what, I've got a team that can make this, and I went, oh really? So he went off to his team, and they said, yeah, no, we can make it, and together we came up with a pitch and presented it to Meta.
You get
And
inspiration
all of a sudden, 2 years
in the
later,
craziest ways, you know?
Dig VR. So those ideas of these games coming from silly ideas, you know.
Sometimes it's not all about sitting in a meeting or a boardroom
So that's a
or a
fantastic
Zoom
story,
call and
you
like trying to
mentioned
bang
Just
out
Add Water. Of
ideas.
course, we're also joined with Ben
Sometimes you
here
just be
from
sitting
Just
there
Add Water.
minding your own business,
Ben,
and boom,
I assume
like
that
it'll
you're
come to
taking
you,
some
which is hit you.
responsibility for this
I'm
game.
taking no responsibility. No, yeah, it was interesting. Obviously, when we first had the meeting with Leo and the rest of his team, and they kind of pitched the grand idea at the top of it's a digging game, and that was kind of the overarching thing, and then we needed to fill in the rest of that gap between it's a digging game and game, you know. So it's like, what can we do with it? And funnily enough, I was at the time on the call. I was sat in my lounge and just looking out the window, and someone opposite was having their driveway dug up at the same time. So they had like a little mini digger, and they had like this little breaker attachment on, which is this like massive piston thing that like hammers the ground. So they were breaking up the driveway, and I was kind of like zoning in and out of talking to these guys and watching this digger, and they were breaking the driveway, and I saw they like detached it, and then they attached a bucket on, and they started doing something else, and they found a root, and they were like, oh no, let's take this bucket off and put this other like saw on, and we'll do the root. And then I was just kind of like, well, why don't we, rather than, because we were going to have loads of different machines and things like this, and I was like, well, why don't we just kind of do what they're doing, right, and have just focus on diggers, but have loads of interchangeable tool heads, right? So we can change out different tool heads, you can do different tasks, make
Makes
it very
sense.
gamey, make it very fun, and it kind of just evolved from there. I think Leo was on board with that idea at the start. If he's not, he is now. But
you know, yeah, I mean, it was a good collaboration. I mean, the guys took the idea and fleshed it out. To be fair, but I mean, the core point of the game is it just had to remain true to that feeling of sitting in a digger. So if you've been in a digger, it perfectly recreates that feeling. If you've never been in a digger, it gives you that feeling to makes you want to actually be in a real digger. So it was kind of that perfect, but also with
So
a
the
massive
idea
game component.
is
So
if I
even
play this
though
game,
it's a simulation
it
in
will
terms
make
of
me want to
controls,
be or
there's
want
lots
to
of
sit
variety to make it
in a digger.
simple so that it's actually a game. So it's a sim but game. So it's a really unique hybrid, but the controls are spot on.
I think it's like we're describing it as sim light, right? It's sim light, authentic controls, but with a like arcadey twist. So there's a lot of things in there, like You use the digger in a bowling alley. You use it.
I
To
mean,
play
it
rubber
wouldn't make
duck.
sense. Like,
You use it on a ball
a game
pit,
such
in
as
a
that,
big digger,
and
though, in
which
like a
would
kid's
only
ball
just
pit,
be
right? So again, we wanted to not do that
just
kind
full
of
simulation,
traditional,
may not be
you know,
as
hardcore heavy sim, because it's
interesting
not. That's
or
not what it
have
is. And again, the
as
platform doesn't
great
really
legs
kind of allow that
as
kind
maybe
of
just
uber physics, uber sim. So we had
being
to
able
focus
to
on like
have some
really enjoyable
simulation,
gameplay, but whilst
but
keeping
then
that
have like really fun
sense of
gameplay to go
authentic
along with it.
controls
Using a
and
digger
nailing
in a
that, right?
bowling
'Cause
alley,
it's
like
hard to
what?
it's hard to master. Easy to kind of learn the controls, but really hard to master. And then when it clicks, you get in that flow state, right? And you just kind of, you know, you just zone out and you dig in the dirt and zoning out. So we wanted to tap into that. So we have kind of mashed a lot together to try and make it appeal to more than just the hardcore, you know, digger or excavator fans. We really wanted to broaden that appeal.
Personally, I'm so happy that this is happening because I remember, I think it wasn't too far coming out of lockdown where you were allowed to go out again. And I met Leo and Jason in Woking to catch up and say hello. And Leo was like, "Do you want to see our new game?" I was like, "Okay." And just shows me videos of him on a digger. And I'm like, "Leo, that's you on a digger?" And it's like, no. This is our new game. I was like, okay. So I'm so happy that this chat is happening and that it exists and that you found a way to make it such a you've managed to gamify it in such a fun, cool way.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good. I mean, it was, you know, sometimes the penny drops and something feels right, and you question why hasn't this been done before? And I'm kind of glad it hasn't because
Why hasn't it been done before? Actually,
something real.
You got like a farming sim and stuff like that.
Between the two,
But there's no. I don't know if there's a construction sim game either.
If you've ever been on a digger, it's a big boy's toy for everyone, but it just feels so good. I do want to. I mean, there are some, you know, Meta. I've got to thank the Meta team because they 100% got into the idea. Spoke to their team and they were like, "Yeah, I've been on a digger. I know what it's like. My boy's been on a digger. I know what it's like. I really like this idea." I mean, Joel, you know, he completely got the idea. The Just Add Water team completely got it. So this has been a true collaboration where everyone's just thrown in, you know, all their sort of passion and all their, you know, it's a game. It's a game. Obviously, it's a game. It's just a bit of simulation, but there's a lot of feeling, a lot of emotion, and it's very, very, very personal. So for me personally, it's you know, I still got some of my dad's sort of voice in the back when I'm mashing up this wall saying, "What the fuck are you doing, boy?" You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I've got, you know, bless him, you know, he's not here at the moment anymore. So this is kind of to him and to you know, everyone that's had those sort of moments. So yeah, we've got to make people proud with this one. Well, I mean, as of probably 3, 2, 1 now, the meta page is live if we've timed it really well. So if you type in Dig VR on the Meta store or the Meta page website,
Really? Okay.
you should be able to go to there and wishlist it. Pre-orders are not ready yet, but you should be able to wishlist it. digvrgame.com will be live and all the various socials. We will be doing some crazy shit with real diggers to promote this. So stay tuned. Watch this space.
That'll be really cool to do.
Wishlist it. Tell your friends. And yeah, this game is going to be a lot of fun.
So, now for something a little bit different. Now, as most of you might know, Bulwark the Falconeer Chronicles released on March 26th to much critical acclaim, made by solo developer Thomas Sella. What a legend.
Thomas Sella.
What magnificent hair. What
Sella.
magnificent style and fashion. He's great. But has Thomas been taking any time off since launch?
No.
The answer is no.
New update already. Jeez. Man's a beast.
I presume the Orthodoxy holds the power to increase your settlements.
We represent the bannerless on this day, and they have deemed you unworthy of further fighting.
I was mentioning, like, I haven't played this in particular, but I have played the Falconer, and Falconer is really bloody good.
This is a great day.
That's right, new DLC is on the way for Bulwark the Falconeer Chronicles. Make sure you can pick up Bulwark to get yourself up to date with the base game, and keep an eye on Thomas's development progress on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Right, in just a few days' time on Thursday, we're taking, well, gamers to the laundrette, not for the reason that you might first think. Arcade Paradise VR launches on MetaQuest this week, and we thought, why keep you waiting just a few days for the launch trailer? And not just that, there's a QR code on screen right now, and if you're watching it live, good news, because the first 1,000 people to check it out will get a free copy of the Arcade Paradise soundtrack. Is it, what's the price of it? Priceless. That's what it is. It's priceless, and it could be yours. Got it? Got it. And with that, let's take a look a couple of days early.
I'm using my phone right now to record
Arcade
this,
Paradise
so I can't.
VR.
Welcome to Arcade Paradise.
So, you know, some classic arcade sim management simulating.
Let's play.
This looks so nice. Gotta go fast. Yeah. Go.
Yep. Is that gum?
Hey.
He is. He never misses.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's definitely a stain. I've been there, buddy. Oh, now we're talking.
We've got arcades.
That was amazing. This guy really enjoyed that a little too much.
Whoa.
Let's do it. Whoa, look at this place. This is insanely cool. It's getting better and better.
Oh my god, I'm amazing at this game.
It's what we do in these streets when you gotta pick up the cash.
All of the arcade games are great. This is so good.
That's pretty dope.
Where's my car?
This is the coolest Quest release I've played so far this year.
Just, you know, being able to be within that space and arcade as well.
How cool is this? You're seeing my new office, which is very
Oh
nice.
yeah, you could. I forgot you could do this.
I just put an arcade machine in my room. Well, dope. I guess I can just play games in here.
April 25th. What is it today? It's 23rd. 2 days. Thursday. Okay, more music. More music's coming soon.
You ain't the king of Jack. Babylon brain stuck on the track. Right on the course, revealing all that you lack. Here's a fact. Rip through the illusion, you might find that clue inside your
Hey, 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 hey. Ah. Oh damn, up to 80%, you know. Jeez.
So the Wired Steam sale is going to be featuring some of the latest and greatest games from Wired, as well as some of the classics from the attic you might not have checked out the first time round. Hey, but listen, we tried to keep this as full of content as we could, but what's a presentation if you're watching it without one more thing?
Yes. One more thing. LKA, 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 LKA. I know. Oh, Town of Light, that's it. No, not Town of Light. What? LKA. What does that mean? Am I remembering things incorrect? Or am I mixing things up in my head? Details not found. Oh no. So from
Today
the
you
same
have it.
people
That was Wired Direct
that made Town of
2024,
Light.
and did we deliver? Tons of gameplay, loads of interview stuff, premieres.
That was great,
And
man.
That's not it. Me and
That was
Aaron are
pretty
going to go
great.
and have a well-deserved cup of tea now. And as we disappear, you can watch some pure, unadulterated gameplay of all the games mentioned. Well, all the games we're allowed to show at least at the Wired Direct right after this. And if you're watching this live, stick around in the sidebar. You'll be able to see all the information about all of the games that are featured today, as well as lots more. Like we mentioned, there's a Steam sale right now if you want to get yourself familiar with some of the previous titles. And for everything upcoming, make sure to wishlist. As we mentioned, all of the links are right there. Just wishlist. Check out the games there. You can pre-order some places. You can wishlist it. Some you can buy in just a few days, like Arcade Paradise VR. I hope you had a really nice time. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a really wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.
That was awesome. Nicely done, Wired. Nicely done with the Wired Direct. Really bloody enjoyed that. Really bloody enjoyed that. My highlights would have to be Gori, of course. The first thing they showed. Karma as well. That looked freakishly freaky. Survival horror. Reminded me of The Evil Within. They said more horror than the survival bit. So trippy. Digger, very intriguing. Hotel Architect. Me wanting to replace every chair in the hotel with a toilet would be pretty damn funny. I would love to do that. But yeah, man, some really good games coming up. I think overall a really well put together show. So good stuff, Wired. Really, oh god, I can't see stuff stuck in the arms. It just throws me up. I want to throw up. But no, that was awesome. Great show. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you enjoy that? Let me know down in the comments below. Please, of course, click like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. There's content on the channel almost every day. So go below, hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. For more amazing videos, I would recommend this one here next. And I'll see you there shortly. Peace.